ongoing thing. Hello friends, and welcome to another class by Daily English Classroom. Today we are talking about the lesson The Castaway by Ravindranath Tagore. Ravindranath Tagore, as you all know, is a very famous Indian writer and the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize for Literature for his great work, Geetanjali. The work is noted for its profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse. His other important works are The Golden Boat, Kabuliwala, The Post Office and The Broken Nest. The lesson Castaway is a small part taken from his autobiographical work, My Boyhood Days. The title of our story is The Castaway. Castaway means a person who had been shipwrecked and who has reached in an isolated place. In this story, we can see a character called Nilakanda and his relation with a family, a Zamindar family. Let's go to the first paragraph of the story. The battle of the gods and demons began in the evening. The roaring storm, the pouring rain, the bludgeoning thunder and lightning and the black clouds all took their part. The Ganges was furious and one could hear nature scream, sighs and groans everywhere. The story begins with a fight or battle between the gods and the demons in the river Ganges. Weather was so bad that there was thunder and lightning, and the Ganges was very angry. So usually this type of natural calamities are seen as a kind of battle between good and evil, or the gods and demons. And the battle was going on between the gods and demons. Let's go to the second paragraph. In one of the riverside houses of Chandanagar, an endless verbal battle was going on between Sharath and his wife, Kiran, about her staying in the house. Kiran fell seriously ill, making everyone in her native village terribly anxious. The whole village advocated for a change necessary for her and to be taken to her own home. But Sharath and his mother gave more importance to their darling than the wisdom of the village. In this paragraph, we can understand about how Tagore has made a connection between this natural calamity, a kind of battle, a natural calamity and a kind of battle with words or verbal battle was going on in a family staying at the riverside in Chandanagar. And this battle, which is a battle with words or a verbal battle, was going on between Sharath and his wife Kiran. Kiran is not well and she is having a serious illness. Kiran is not well and the people in the village were very anxious about this condition of Kiran, and they all wanted them to take her back to her own house. But Sharath and his mother insisted on staying in that place because that is good for Kiran. The argument was going on between Sharath and Kiran. Kiran wants to go back to her native village, whereas Sharath and his mother wants her to stay in that place because that is good for Kiran. And they say, the doctor also thinks that you should stay here a few more days to return home strong again. In their opinion, this place is better for her health than her native village. Ah, your doctor knows everything. Let him know that a recovered person never needs further medicated recovery. I can go home right now. Kiran wants to go back to her house and stay there. And she is having a verbal fight with her husband, Sharath, about this issue. They want her to stay here and recover completely. Now you know that all sorts of illness have eluded from here. Now I suppose everyone here would be perfectly well in this storm. Sharath looked at her face. She still appeared to be very weak. His heart sank at the thought of how narrowly she had escaped death. And Sharath knew that she is very weak and Kiran needs to stay some more time here in this place to recover. But she wants to go back to her own village. Fight was going on between Sharath and Kiran about where they have to stay. Sharath wants her to stay in this riverside because that is good for her health, because she has just recovered from a very serious illness. But Kiran was not at all happy living in this riverside, which was away from her village, because she feels very bored living here in this place. And she was always thinking about her happy days she spent in the village. And here in this riverside, she got nothing to do. She cannot stay here any longer because there is nothing to do. And this was the point of discussion that was going on between Sharath and his wife Kiran. And for Kiran, her life in the village was very exciting. It was full of fun. Whereas here in this house, where they are staying temporarily for recovering from that illness, doesn't give her any happiness, and she wants to go back to her house. Next paragraph. He heard a call and went outside to see a young boy in the garden, a survivor from an upturned boat in the storm. Immediately, Kiran showed her hospitality, giving him dry clothes to change and milk to drink. After he had settled down, she asked his whereabouts. His name was Nilakanta, belonged to a theatrical group. Their boat perished in the storm while they were going to stage a play in a neighboring villa. He said he had no idea about the others. The storm happening there is also a symbol of the actual storm happening in the family. A kind of fight was going on whether to stay there in that place or to go back to her own house in the village. And we can see a new character, a new member is coming to this family, and he is the survivor of a shipwreck. And his name was Nilakanta, and Nilakanta was a member of a group of theater performers, and their boat was upturned in the storm, and he doesn't know about the other people who were traveling in the boat, and he just escaped from that. Nilakanta came to this family as a new member, and Kiran, who was a good lady, she was very kind and generous to him, and she gave him new clothes to change and gave him some food also. Nilakanda was a member of a theatrical group who is going from different villages to village to perform the play because of the bad weather, their boat was upturned, and he just escaped from that and reached here. This boy, Nilakanda, turned out to be a boon to everyone there. Kiran had a warm interest in him, and he swam out from the clutches of death. Sharath and his mother were happy as Kiran would stay longer. Nilakanda also was delighted to escape from his master and be part of that wealthy family. So here develops a kind of very friendly relationship between Nilakanda and this family, who are staying temporarily in this place because of the illness of Kiran. And Nilakanda soon became a great blessing, a great help for the family. And there was a good friendship between Nilakanda and Kiran. And the family, Sharath and his mother, was also very happy because now Kiran seems to be enjoying her life in this riverside, and she had a great admiration for Nilakanda because he has just escaped from such a terrible storm,